Okay, class, finishing up chapter 2, we have the supplement unit analysis. We have objective 1, converting units. To convert the units of a quantity, write the quantity in the original units. Multiply by fractions equal to 1 so that the units you want to eliminate appear in one numerator and one denominator. Now, first of all, let's talk about a fraction that equals 1. We know that any number divided by itself or anything divided by itself except 0 equals 1. So if they are equal to each other, then they are the same. For example, 1 pound is equal to 16 ounces. So 1 pound and 16 ounces, if we wrote that as a fraction, wouldn't 1 pound over 16 ounces equal 1? And that is true because whenever they're equal to each other, as long as it's not 0, when they're equal to each other and divided by each other, it equals 1. So we would take that down here. It says make the indicated unit conversions. Round approximate results to 2 decimal places. It says as of 2010, the tallest man-made structure named Burj Khalifa in the United Arab Emirates is 828 meters tall. How tall is this skyscraper in feet? Now, we have to remember one thing here. You have to have your conversion chart. So we want to change meters to feet. So we have 828 meters divided by 1. And that's multiplied by, on your conversion chart, it tells you that 1 meter and 3.28 feet are equal to each other, even though the 3.28 is actually an approximation. So what we would do is this here. We would have to put meters in our denominator so the meters can simplify out, and we would have 3.28 feet divided by 1 meter. Now these meters would simplify out, which I have crossed out already, and 828 times 3.28 feet would give us 2,715.84 feet. And then we have 1 times 1, which is 1. Now we know anything divided by 1 is itself. So our final answer, which is an approximation, is 2,715.84 feet. Okay, now we go to the next problem. We have B. It says red meat production in Iowa is 585 million pounds per year. What is Iowa's meat production in ounces per day? So what we have is 585 million pounds divided by 1 year, because it says per year. Per means division. So now we want to change these pounds to ounces. Now we know pounds will have to go in our denominator, so we will have 1 pound to 16 ounces. Now we want to change years to days. Now because years is in our denominator, we want days to replace years in our denominator. So our years will go in our numerator and days in our denominator. And we know in 1 year is 365 days. So we go through and simplify. We simplify out the common units like pounds with pounds, years with years. So we will have ounces in our numerator and days in our denominator. So now we multiply. We have 585 million times 16 times 1, which gives us 9,360,000,000 ounces. And then we multiply our denominator. 1 times 1 is 1 times 365 days is 365 days. So we divide these two values, and this will leave us 25,643,835.62 ounces per day, or ounces divided by day. And this is an approximation. Now, we scroll to C. Now it says here in C, a driver travels at 50 miles per hour. What is the driver's speed in meters per second? So first thing we want to do is we will have 50 miles over 1 hour. So we want to change miles to meters. So it takes 1.6093 kilometers to equal 1 mile. Then we have to change these kilometers to meters. So it takes 1,000 meters to equal 1 kilometer. So now what we have here, we have taken care of the meters portion. We got an equivalent fraction using meters. Now we want to change hours to second. So we would take 1 hour over 60 minutes. because remember, we want our final measure to be in our denominator. So then we would take 1 minute is 60 seconds. Now we would simplify all of the common units. So we have miles with miles, kilometers with kilometers. We have hour with hour, and we have minutes with minutes. Now we multiply 50 times 1.6093 times 1,000 will give us approximately 80,465. And then 1 times 1 times 1 times 60 will give us 3,600 seconds. Now when we divide this out, this gives us approximately 22.35 meters per second. And that is our final answer. Now we scroll down here to D. It says a nurse has on hand morphine 500 milligrams in 500 milliliters normal saline. She needs to administer morphine 80 milligrams per hour in a continuous IV infusion to a patient with terminal cancer pain. How many milliliters per hour will she set on the controller? So we have 80 milligrams over 1 hour. Now, if you notice here, we have 500 milligrams in 500 milliliters. So basically, these are equivalent solutions in this normal saline. So what we would do is we want to end up with milliliters per hour. So we would have 500 milliliters over 500 milligrams. So these milligrams will simplify out. 80 times 500, actually I didn't write this out, but 80 times 500 is 40,000. I'll write it down here. This will give us 40,000 milliliters all over 1 times 500, which is 500. And this will be 500 hours. Now when we divide this, these zeros will simplify each other out. 400 divided by 5 is 80, and we have milliliters per hour. So this actually should be an exact answer, not approximate. So it actually equals 80 milliliters per hour. And that is it.